What's up, War Report family? It's your guy, Ike Jones here. We are back with another edition of Building Rapport. This time, we want to talk to you as the Auburn family about how you can get involved and help Auburn athletics. And that is with the new Auburn NIL collective, OnToVictory. And today, we've got special guest for you, Brett Whiteside, coming here to talk a little bit about it. Let's welcome Brett to the show. Mr. Whiteside, how you doing today?
Hey, yeah, doing great. Doing great.
Awesome. Listen, for people who might not know who you are, we're going to talk about OnToVictory, and people may know what OnToVictory is, but talk a little bit about who you are, Brett Whiteside, and then we'll just talk a little bit about what OnToVictory is. So let's introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. So grew up in Southside, Alabama, grew up an Auburn fan my whole life, and went to school at Auburn, came down here as a freshman. Had a chance to immediately get involved in football recruiting when Coach Tuberville was here, and then with Coach Chiswick. Met my wife at Auburn, very special place for us. And I worked again with Coach Tuberville, Coach Chiswick. I went with Coach Malzahn to Arkansas State, served on his staff there in a recruiting capacity, came back to Auburn, worked in recruiting for the first 4 years, and then operations the last 4 years. And then most recently, I served as a chief recruiting officer at the University of Missouri. And I was there when NIL was born. Obviously, navigating that from a football staff standpoint, from a football recruiting standpoint, gave me great insight into the NIL business and set me up for this position. I was hired by OnToVictory in August to be the executive director and run the collective, and it's been very rewarding. I've enjoyed it. It's been very busy, almost 3 months here, but OnToVictory has a lot of great things going on. Excited to be a part of it.
Okay, awesome. Listen, the background sounds impressive as far as the recruiting standpoint, and then just being in the inception of what has kind of been really groundbreaking for college athletics, and that's name, image, and likeness. So tell us a little bit about OnToVictory. And so there's been, 4 or 5. I don't even know how many still exist out there, NIL collectives for Auburn. But this is the major one that I've heard of most recently. So talk a little bit about OnToVictory and what you all are doing for the athletes here at Auburn University.
Yeah. So, first off, OnToVictory is the NIL collective for Auburn. We're the only nonprofit, not-for-profit collective out there. There are some national for-profit collectives that are trying to work with the athletes and taking a cut for profit. And that's not our model. We were founded by 7 Auburn alums who said they were going to start this collective because of their love for Auburn. And when they formed OnToVictory, they included in their corporation papers that no board member would ever benefit financially. They would never receive compensation for their time. And they have invested a lot of time and energy in their own personal resources. Every board member's donated personally to support our student athletes. And so they developed this model that we would be not-for-profit, that at least 90% of every donation would go directly to the student athletes. We have operational expenses. We have a building that we're in. We have full-time staff to best support our student athletes, but we're going to make sure that at least 90% goes to the student athlete. And then lastly, they decided or they pledged that everything that we do within the collective is going to be with transparency, integrity, and compliance with the rules. And that's the key to name, image, and likeness, doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. Is that you sign a student athlete to a contract. They have required fulfillment obligations. And so the burden is on the collective to ensure that they complete those obligations so that they don't jeopardize their eligibility. So they set it up in a great way for the love of Auburn, and we're off to a great start.
Awesome. Yeah. So I know we had our guy Jason Campbell on here talk a little bit about the previous collective, NIL Auburn. Is this an offshoot of that, or is this a completely different entity now that is OnToVictory has formed?
Yeah, good question. So Rick Davidson's a former baseball player at Auburn. He started NIL Auburn, and he's
Hmm.
really the pioneer in this space for Auburn. And we're very appreciative that he was willing to jump out and be at the forefront of this. Back in the spring, our collective, our board members got with Rick and decided the best thing for Auburn is to have one main NIL collective. And so his collective has since been dissolved, and OnToVictory is able to serve as the collective for Auburn.
That is actually really good. That's one of the things, with our War Rapport family, we got questions often about like, I want to get involved. I just don't know which
Right.
of these things is the best thing to make sure that the money that I'm giving is going directly to the athletes or it's getting used the best way. So I like the collective vision that you guys have brought together with OnToVictory to make sure that the Auburn fans have a clarity as well, not just from a standpoint of making sure that the athletes get taken care of, but the fans who want to get involved have some clarity around how they can be helpful. So let's talk about it from that standpoint. What do Auburn fans need to do if they want to get on board with OnToVictory?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing to just recognize is the importance of a collective and what the role is. So, a collective is essentially a group of people with a common goal, common purpose to support its school's student athletes. And we're asking for all of the Auburn family to donate to OnToVictory. We have multiple ways that you can do that. You can join our subscription, and we have five subscription levels that range from $34 a month to $100 a month, 250, 500, 1,000. You can get involved in any level that you would like to, and each level has its varying benefits. But the number one benefit of each subscription level is that you know that at least 90% of your monthly contribution is going to support Auburn student athletes. And then above and beyond that, we provide opportunities for things like autographs, in-person appearances with the players, meet and greets, virtual appearances, opportunities to get apparel and to do some really cool exclusive things. So those are the benefits that we're providing at our membership level. If you feel like a one-time donation is best for you, you can go to our website, and under the other ways to give, you can make a one-time contribution. You can earmark a specific sport if you would like. And then if you just want to be old-fashioned like me and write a check and mail it in, we'll absolutely take that too. So I think the key is, Auburn family, we need everyone to be involved in this if we're going to be truly successful. We want you to feel like rolling Toomer's Corner, winning at Auburn, is synonymous with OnToVictory and giving towards NIL, because they are very connected right now. I believe that those who really exceed in the NIL collective space are going to be the ones who are going to be competing for championships.
Yeah, I agree that it's a new day in college athletics, and the NIL collectives allow for Auburn fans, fans across college sports, but we only care about Auburn winning right now. For Auburn fans to be able to feel like they're more a part of the key to success, which is a lot of this money that's helping to make sure that athletes are taken care of. I don't think some people feel like it's a pay for play type of thing, but there are a ton of non-major sports, right, that they need the support to be able to just get lunch sometimes and it not be at the facility, or take care of a bill here and there. So there's a huge benefit. So talk a little bit, like football is a thing that most collegiates, specifically in the SEC, folks think about when they think funding athletes. But talk a little bit about some of the other sports and how OnToVictory is helping those athletes make sure that they're getting taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Coach Pearl talking about us being an everything school, and being an everything collective is a great goal for us to have. We currently have 12 of our sports student athletes represented with us. We hope to get to all 21 next year. We've provided an NIL deal to every women's basketball player, every gymnast, every volleyball player. We also have student athletes from golf, men's and women's golf, soccer, softball. And so we're continuing to try to support all of our student athletes. And all those sports are coming from people who are stepping up and saying, I want to support the gymnastics team. I want to support the softball players. I want to support women's basketball. And when people come to us with that goal in mind, we're absolutely happy to do that. And we want to support all of our student athletes at a high level.
Just for my clarity's sake, and then because I know people are going to ask me, like, how does it work from the athlete side of it? So I know you guys are taking the lion's share. You said 90% of the money that's coming in and getting it to the athlete. Like, how does the athlete do? How do they get involved as far as that's concerned? Like, break that down too.
Yeah, great question. So, again, part of the NCAA guidance on this is that there needs to be a contract in place that shows what's the compensation versus what are the players doing for it. Mm-hmm. And a typical contract for us looks like anything from personal appearances, social media posts and engagements, autographs, video clips, virtual appearances. And so there's a wide range of things that we can do. A lot of that depends on maybe how a business wants to interact with us. And that's a piece that I'd like to visit on here, is just how Auburn student athletes are a great brand for businesses. They can promote their products and services. I think that that Auburn businesses in this area, in this region, and nationally will find a lot of benefit in these businesses will find benefit in having our student athletes be ambassadors for their brands, be an influencer for their brand. And they can come to us and we can help get them connected to our student athletes.
So is it a situation, again, I remember when we were talking with Jason Campbell before about, like, the athlete comes in and you all look at kind of what their market value is, and that kind of determines how much they're going to be getting distributed to them and what their worth is to that NIL collective, and as far as their brand is concerned?
Yeah, that's right. This is all very brand new. And there has not been any sort of entity that assigns market value nationally. Mm-hmm. And so it's really on the collective and our process. We have an advisory board that we've set up. We did hire Jason Campbell as well, so he works with us. Mm-hmm. And he's obviously a great tool, a former professional athlete, an Auburn great, who can help place valuations on players really from all sports, but mainly in football.
Right.
And we take a look at multiple things. What is their reach? What is their following on social? What is their fame with the fan base? And those sorts of things as we place valuations on an individual basis. That's one of the things the NCAA requires, is you look at every athlete on a case-by-case basis and provide a market valuation for them.
So you said something there that I want to highlight specifically for those who feel like, I don't have the money to get involved with this. Their following on social media and the interaction that they have with the fan base is important for these athletes to be able to garner more money. So if you're an Auburn fan who maybe you don't have the money to contribute, there are ways that you can make sure that athlete can raise their evaluation by just going and following them on social media and interacting with the content that they post. So that's a thing that I want to make sure fans know, like, it's not just about money, right? Like some things you can do don't cost you money, right?
That's right.
So
this is about
get involved.
This is about supporting our athletes 365 days a year, not just the days that they're competing on the field.
Absolutely.
It's about, exactly as you said, following them on their social channels, interacting with them on their social channels, promoting them within the community and to local businesses, supporting businesses that support Auburn student athletes. There's many ways that the Auburn family can be involved, and it's going to take all of us to be highly competitive in the space.
So, and this is another thing I want to make sure that we make crystal clear. So let's just get clarity. I'll ask the question, is OnToVictory affiliated directly with Auburn University other than it helping its student athletes?
No, not at all. So that is one thing that was made clear by the NCAA, is that institutions cannot directly compensate the players, and in Most states, there's a law that says they can't do anything to cause the compensation. And we have a great working relationship with the university. We're media rights partners through Playfly. You've seen our advertisements in venue and on the media backdrops and around other venues. So we're doing everything we can to be aligned with the university. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's not the ability for the coaches to come in and say, do this, do that, pay this player this amount of money. And, so it's important for us to have great processes in place to be able to support at the level that we feel like is best for Auburn.
Okay. And one other major question is in the area of recruiting, right? Like, so OnToVictory is not like some quasi dark money that's going into the recruiting stuff either, right?
No, not at all. There's people out there that have looked at NIL as that way, but honestly, the way that people are recruiting on NIL allows our coaches to talk about what their current players are doing in NIL. That's how you recruit on NIL. And you can point to your current team, the deals that they've had, the opportunities they've had, the brands they've interacted with as a way to recruit. I think it's great for recruits and coaches to be able to look at our collective as a strong collective and knowing that we're supporting all of our student athletes. But we do not interact with recruits. The NCAA has been clear that collectives are made up of boosters, and therefore they can't have recruiting conversations. And nobody from our collective's ever spoken with a recruit. We'll engage with them at the moment that they sign with Auburn.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk about Roll OTV Day, because I know that that's coming up, and we need to get some directives to the fan base about how they can get involved with it.
Absolutely. November 14th, Monday, November 14th, we're having Roll OnToVictory Day. And rolling Toomer's Corner should be synonymous with OnToVictory. And we want to really hammer home that we believe if we want to continue to roll Toomers, we want to continue to win, we want to continue to win championships, then we have to be involved in OnToVictory. We have to be involved in the NIL space. And by donating to our collective, that's how everyone can get involved. And so on November 14th, we hope that everyone will be signed up or will sign up on that day to get involved some way, and that you'll share your favorite memory of rolling Toomers. I think that a great game day is to get up in the morning, to go tailgate, watch us win a ball game, and then go roll Toomers afterwards.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna make sure that we get the message out to the fan base about doing that. Brett, I appreciate you taking a little time to come in and talk with us about how the fans can get involved. So remember, if you are an Auburn fan, you need to be following OnToVictory. Let's go ahead and drop some information about websites, social media, all of those things, so they know how to get in touch with you guys and get involved in this entire process.
Absolutely. Our website is OnToVictory.com. OnToVictory.com. You can go on for more information and to sign up.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brett, again, I appreciate you coming in. And we will make sure that everybody knows about what they need to do to get involved in this NIL stuff, so we can make sure Auburn has the preeminent NIL collective out here in America.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Roll with OnToVictory. War Eagle.
All right. You heard it there, Auburn family. OnToVictory.com is the place where you can get involved with Auburn's only, listen, this is the NIL collective. Don't worry about any of that other stuff that you've been hearing about. OnToVictory is the one that you need to be getting on board with. OnToVictory.com, and then Roll OnToVictory Day is coming up. That's all we got for you today for another edition of Building Rapport. You guys know where to check us out. We are The War Rapport. Go to thewarreport.com for more information about us. We are at The War Rapport on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You already know all of that stuff. TW Report on TikTok. Until the next time, and as always, War Eagle, War Rapport out.